I think it's day 5 and I've just cut up some baking paper and let it be a little bit taller around the edges. This really better work. Well, I think this is the closest thing to success we've been so far. I actually got this off because of the baking paper. Probably should have had it higher up, but you can see how it like changes the shape of the bread. So that's kind of why I was avoiding it, but clearly it is not to be avoided. Okay, guys, it is. If I do this, nope. There's one more jar. I can't even carry all this. I have made them all. I have made. They're not even in frame. I have made 7 kinds of Christmas biscuits. Sjuslag, my 7 slag. Let's go through them. Okay, so recap. There's an old Norwegian Christmas tradition that you make 7 kinds of Christmas baked things for Christmas. There's a long list of things you can pick from, and I picked these because I had the tools, ingredients, whatever to make. Yes, that's Embla. we've met. Let's start with these. I was really pleased with these. These are brune pinner, aka brown sticks. So this is what they look like, and they have this like almond crunch on top. Absolutely delicious, very easy to make, very difficult to get them ugly, which is usually my specialty. Turn them into however many baking tray wide sausages you can fit and squeeze them so they're about 10 centimeter wide, and then sort of dice them up diagonally so you get these nice long chunks. Egg white wash them and put some chopped almonds on, and yeah, they are delicious. There were more of these, but I ate quite a bit because this was the first successful thing I made this year. And then we have my jar of serinakake. This is a shortbread type biscuit, very easy. Roll them into a bowl and squeeze them flat with a fork. And again, egg wash with egg white and drizzle on with some chunky sugar. We call it pearl sugar in Norwegian. Now I'm saying I made these successfully. I did wake up at 5 a.m. a couple of days ago thinking these were the ones that were supposed to have vanilla sugar in them, but it was the failed Berliner Kranse, which I'll talk about later, that tasted like vanilla. So either I forgot to put vanilla in here at all, or I have swapped the doughs. But they're similar anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, they're supposed to taste like vanilla, but these don't. And Embla is trying to take credit for all the baking. Rude, honestly. Shall we go look at other things Mama's made? Anyway, let's talk about Berliner Kranse. This was something I had to make twice because the first batch, I think there was something wrong with the recipe where it said to make 20, and that made them really chunky. And a lot of people in the comment section of that recipe said, you know, similar quantities are usually for 40. Sure, it's not supposed to be 40. So I made it again and made it into 40, and they look right. But yeah, not the easiest to get into focus, but this is how I have decided to store them for now. And then I made Norwegian donuts. I keep these in a bag in the freezer because I want them to stay as fresh as possible, but they can be stored in a regular cookie tin. These I have filmed more extensively. You deep fry them in lard, but you can use shortening and blah. And it's up to you if you want to use the middle to just make more of the donut rings, or if you actually want to deep fry the middles, which I quite like to do because these are more of a bite-sized snack type thing. Yeah, sometimes I don't want a whole donut even though they are very small. And although these don't count as my 7 types because I don't know if yeast-based stuff count, the scholars remain divided, so I just thought I'd mention these as a bonus. Otherwise I'd have made 8. my saffron buns, aka lussekatter, lussebullar. They turned out really, really well. This is the most successful batch I have made so far. And I keep these in the freezer as well. You want them to stay fresh. Now let's talk about the big tins. Another colossal baking failure of mine was kransekake. The first batch that I made melted. They lost all shape. They were completely flat and terrible. So I made them again using one entire egg white less. I used 3 egg whites instead of 4. And I probably should have added a little bit more egg white because these I had to almost like mold together rather than roll them out as sausages. But they actually retain shape really, really well. And I can recommend to keep things in the fridge before you chuck them in the oven. But this is the most like snack friendly version of all these. Like most of these are like, ooh, a little treat because it's Christmas. But these are like, it's almonds, so. Oh my god, the smell! Oh, this is the gingerbread tin. This recipe is ridiculously enormous. I have declared myself done for my 7 kinds, but I may want to decorate these with icing sugar and Smarties, but yeah. Gingerbread. I don't need to explain to you what gingerbread are. And finally, a big Christmas tradition for me is vita kakemen, aka white cake men. You kind of make them the same way that you make gingerbread. Once you have the dough, you don't roll it out as thin, so it needs to be thicker. You could knead this a little bit more and use more flour when you are working it. It seems to really like whatever the opposite of gingerbread dough, and then they just turn nice and poofy. Very tasty despite actually not having any seasoning in them. And that's it. Mission complete. I actually did it. I can't believe it. I will try this again next year with the things that I have learned. I'll make annotations in my recipe book that I'm now starting, and I might try some different things next year. Who knows?